about something we all struggle with, Italian unification. Someone has to take accountability. Today I'm bringing Camillo di Cavour. He claims that he is responsible for unification, and he is here to tell his side of the story. Italian unification is a big deal. Let's get right down to it. Cavour, a liberal constitutional monarchist, is the Prime Minister of Piedmont. If you think one thing when you think Cavour, think realpolitik. So Cavour, tell me about the Crimean War.
To the great European powers, Italy was no more than a geographical expression. Entering Piedmont into the war meant I could give Italy some much-needed attention at the Congress of Paris.
Interesting. So tell me about the war with Austria.
Here's the thing. I knew that if I could start a war with Austria, with France on my side, Austria would be out of the way. So I got Napoleon III on board with the Pact of Plombières, and I provoked a war with Austria in 1859.
Looks like we have a question from the audience.
Yeah, hey, my name is Mazzini, so I get that you're a political mastermind or whatever, but what about this nationalism? How can you take credit for the national spirit that inspired this whole movement?
Good question. Personally, I'm not a fan of radical nationalism. It was not a futile revolution, but rather a strategized war that terminated Austrian resistance. A war that I provoked, if I must say. In 1859, Napoleon III made a peace with Austria. I'll admit that I wasn't too happy, but things turned around when Tuscany, Modena, Parma, and other territories of the north were annexed to Piedmont by a popular vote. By 1860, Italy consisted of the Kingdom of Piedmont in the north, Papal States in the center, and the Kingdom of Two Sicilies in the south.
So at this point in the story, you say that you're the reason for the unification of the north?
Yes.
Now here's where our story gets a little more complicated. With us now is Garibaldi. So Garibaldi, I hear it was you who unified the south.
That's right, Dr. Phil. With over 1,000 of my followers, I journeyed to the south and overtook the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. We didn't even get help from the Kingdom of Piedmont. My followers and I planned to continue into the Papal States, but that's when Cavour got involved.
And I most certainly had to. If Garibaldi would have tried to overtake the Papal States, we would have had an international crisis on our hands.
So he gave me a choice. I could have challenged Piedmontese forces or handed over the south to Victor Emmanuel, the King of Piedmont. Handing over the south was the best option for Italy, so that's what I did, because I truly care about Italy, unlike some people.
And how does that make you feel, Garibaldi?
Sometimes I feel like Cavour tries to take credit for the entire process of Italian unification, but let's face it, if I would not have unified the south, he would have been content with his enlarged kingdom in the north.
You bring up a good point. Looks like we have another question from the audience.
Hey, yeah, I have a quick question for Cavour. Word on the street is that you're just a Piedmontese expansionist. I mean, your letters to Victor Emmanuel are pretty convincing of this. What do you have to say about this? Listen. Whatever my motives, you can't argue with my accomplishments. Let's not forget that I advocated for the expansion of railways and the industrial growth of Piedmont, factors that influenced the unification of the north. I gained France as an ally, and I provoked war with Austria. And above all, I rescued Italy from the reckless hands of Garibaldi.
Well, that's all the time we have today. Without Cavour, Italy would have lacked the political genius that led to unification. However, unification was not all about political strategy. We cannot forget the role that both nationalism and militarist acquisition in the South played in this story of Italy. Thanks for watching the Dr. Phil Show.